We're back with the 6-question challenge. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So I'm going to ask you 6 questions. You can ask me questions as well, but a cyber attack would cost our company dollar signs.
Correct. A lot of money. And 90% of the companies that we have worked with have no idea what that number is. Could be 4 to 5x, and a lot of times their insurance is misaligned, so it costs even more. But besides that, Craig, I've got a question for you. If your business shut down for 25 days from a cyber attack, what would the damages be in dollar signs?
That's a great question. So with the average of 25 days, damages often move from the first party to third party, and loss can trigger claims as well. Of damages can linger for months. So it could be millions.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if a ransom attack demanded $250,000, Ralph, what would the total cost of an event be?
That's a good question too. So we have found that oftentimes the ransomware is the cheapest portion of the entire event. There's just so much more that you can spend on remediation cost, restoration cost, forensics, third-party damages. A lot of lawsuits coming in from third-party damages. The business interruption, reputational loss, it adds up quickly, so that, don't underestimate that. Just because you're going to pay the ransom, it keeps on giving, and it could be 6 months to a year before you get back on your feet. So it's very, very misleading. And the other thing is, which brings up question 4, when a cyber criminal is in your network, how long does it take you before you actually figure out they are in there?
So as we know, cyber criminals are getting better at this, and they're getting really good at being in your system without you knowing. The average time of intrusion is actually over 200 days. And with over 200 days of that access time, they can literally go to maximum amounts of intrusion and limits of your liability policy.
Yeah.
Scary, isn't it?
It is.
So thinking about that, if your entire database were deleted, what would the damages be?
Yeah, well, and we have seen that. That really affects not all companies. It does affect all companies, but especially smaller companies. They just don't survive a cyber attack.
Yeah, true.
There are numbers out there that says 50% of small companies don't survive a cyber attack 6 months after it happens. So destructive hackers are notorious for shutting companies down. They use it as a badge of honor. They're not interested in the money. It's going on their resume, and we could talk about that forever, and we will soon. So my question is, the last question is, especially now with AI coming into the picture, we have seen it yes, and we have seen it no. You get a breach from AI and a cyber attack caused by AI, would your cyber insurance cover that, Craig?
Great question. And I'm going to answer it somewhat vague because it's new and dynamic. So the rise of AI-centric threats, it's testing the waters and the boundaries of our traditional policies today. And people are looking at this differently, including the insurance companies and the brokers alike. I know you're in constant contact with the underwriters, and it's progressing and maturing, but stay tuned. It's brand new on the tipping. I'd love to talk to you more about that, Ralph.
Yeah, and we can dive into that at a later date. So more will be revealed. So stay tuned.
So Ralph, stay tuned for that. Hopefully people can join us on our next podcast as we dig deeper into these questions.
Yep. Thanks, Craig.
Thanks very much, Ralph.